Here we go. What up? It is the ManFUzed Podcast. Kay Lee here, audio producer, voice artist, your host, my co-host, real estate man, Ben H.
What's up, guys?
Army veteran, served the country, combat style.
Yes.
He's no pussy.
No bitch.
No bitch.
Full disclosure, I joined the Army to snowboard in Europe. They were the only ones that would give me a guaranteed station in Europe. That's why I joined.
Hey, dude, you had your reasons, but you were willing to lay down your life for that reason alone to snowboard in Europe.
That's true.
That's a man that knows what he wants and is willing to die for it.
That's right. That's right, dude.
He bets on black every time.
I put it on black.
That's right.
Slap it down.
This man ain't scared to live his dreams.
I do my best.
That's right. Today on the ManFUzed Podcast, we got to give some listeners a shout out. I got a hypothetical question for Ben H., which Mo from The Burt Show, who also has a podcast in the moment, brought to the table. If you were given 25 grand, could you stay in a room with no windows for 25K? We'll see what his response is. And I was all geared up to do 75 hard again, started it, and then my wife turned the tables on me and coined her own 75-day workout, which she calls 75 domestic? WTF. Now, we got to thank some listeners. We have a couple of shout-outs we got to get to. Ben, do you want to give us the first one?
I want to give a shout out to the lovely Amadine and or Dina, who sent us a great voice message on WhatsApp. Thank you, Dina. We appreciate that. We love you guys, and we really appreciate you and your girls listening to the show at work. We'd love to hear more from you. We're just really grateful. Thank you so much for reaching out. We love it when people reach out.
And if you ever have anything going on in your life and you need advice, you just want to run something by us, you want to figure out what not to do, then you could reach out at 770-744-5227 on WhatsApp or by regular phone. And then I got an email yesterday, Ben, had me choked up.
Did it put tears in your eyes?
I wept.
Yes.
As I was reading a novel from Gilbert in Roseville, California.
We love you, Gilbert. Thank you for listening.
Absolutely. He thanked us for doing what we do. You know, if you're not throwing cash at me,
right,
at least tell me that we're doing good. Sometimes that's what gives us the fuel, even though cash helps. You know, support helps.
Yes.
But when I was interning at the radio station, I didn't get paid for years.
Right.
And sometimes I'd get so frustrated that I wanted to, like, what am I doing here? It isn't happening. It's not happening fast enough.
Yes.
I think we all go through that. You know, delayed gratification is hard. But then someone would come along, a higher up, you're doing good.
Yes.
And that compliment sometimes was the only fuel I needed.
That's right.
To change my attitude back
right.
and keep going. It
Absolutely.
let me know that we're going in the right direction.
Absolutely.
When you build a podcast from scratch, sometimes the monetary value, other than the enjoyment of us doing this, which we do enjoy, we're passionate about it.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, the goal is for it to produce some sort of monetary value so we can enhance what we do for our audience.
Well, I think the goal is to create value for people. You know what I mean? Give something for them some ideas to chew on, some things to laugh at. You know, ultimately, we're value first. We're putting that value in, and we love hearing that it's being translated by people who are listening as valuable. That's a huge reward.
More than money, really.
Yes, exactly. Well, the money is something that ultimately comes as a result of providing value. So the money ultimately will appear. At the moment where the value is in exchange for it, I got to tell you, at the same time, I'm really excited about some of the companies that we're talking to right now. I never want to take money for something I don't love. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's so important.
We are not going to be whores.
I'd rather not take the money. I'd rather not do the ad.
And we won't. If we feel a company or a product doesn't align with our beliefs, we don't believe in that product, we're not going to recommend it, nor will we endorse it here.
Or even like it. I don't want to use it.
Of course. We want to try everything. Send us your samples. Should we go down the list?
Yeah, exactly.
These are the people we want to work with.
We're going to put it out there.
Absolutely. In that way, we will be a whore.
Well, we'll set our goal target list. At the end of the day,
You got a private jet company?
None of it happens without providing value to people, because if you're not providing value to people, it becomes irrelevant. So it's nice to hear from Amadine. It's nice to hear from Gilbert and Doug and Hannah and all of the great people who write in. We really appreciate it. We try to highlight all of the stuff that we get. We do our best, but
Vanessa,
thank you.
So check this out. So I'm going to just read a little bit of Gilbert's message. It's a novel.
Yeah.
And Gilbert, we are not knocking it because Ben, after reading your entire email,
I was exhausted.
He said, how long was I reading that? He said, are we done recording?
I thought it was over, the whole podcast.
No, but in all seriousness, the time you took, and maybe you're a super fast typer, is epic. I loved showing this message to Ben H. That's
you
why
think he's going to be okay if we read it?
He said we can read parts of it, take what we want out of
cool.
it. Yeah. He gave us freedom.
He gave us freedom and right to the information.
Right. So Gilbert says, I'm 63 years old, but I connect to many of your topics, so keep up the great effort, and it helps in ways you don't realize. That's when the tear started building down my right cheek.
I love that too, because I know what he means. There's podcasts that I listen to that are...
Gives you something.
Yes, that's an amazing statement.
He likes long walks with his German Shepherd.
Me too.
With his daughter's German Shepherd. He's got his earbuds in, under his rain hoodie, a large mug of hot coffee, hopefully it's Black Rifle, and all the while listening and laughing along with us during the show. By the way, the longer I laugh, the longer we walked, so my dog wants to say thank you as well.
Dude, how fun would it be to go out to California and go for a walk with Gilbert?
Let's do it. Just to point it out, and this might not be a big deal to the people that are listening, but, you try to define your target audience. And I would think that, obviously, I think we probably would relate to more men than women, even though we have women listeners.
The women have spoken.
Yeah, the women have spoken. But ideally, ManFUzed, you think men.
Right.
But like in a target audience, I would think it would be in the 30s, the 40s. The fact that we are relating, our topics are relating, some of our perspective, he does say, while he doesn't agree with every thought that we have, which is great. We don't want people that agree with us. We want to be challenged.
Absolutely.
He thinks that we present our thoughts and our opinions in a thought-provoking way that is fair and open. We're not closed off. My opinion's what it is. That's the fact. You suck. Get the hell out of here, loser.
Yeah, I hope my opinion's a fact, but it may not be.
But we are open to people's perspectives.
Well, it's so funny because I love communicating with people that I disagree with. Complete opposite. You know what I mean? We have more alike than we think.
I like disagreeing with people that are so passionate that they get up and want to fight you. Because I sit there and I laugh. Fact that I'm that much under your skin.
Yes.
At this very moment.
Kaylee loves that.
I do.
He loves it.
I'll start weeping.
Weeping.
So Gilbert did have a response. I mean, he went on for many more paragraphs of beautiful poetry.
Beautifully written.
Yes. But he did respond to a topic. I had a friend who was about to marry a gambler. She was seeking advice from me. And I thought Gilbert, being wise, 63 years old, he's got more wisdom than I. He's lived longer.
Yes.
And he seemed to be a level-headed, common-sense thinking individual.
I would say so.
He said, regarding the woman who set out to marry the gambler, well, if she were my daughter, I would tell her this. There are those who have bigger and riskier dreams than others. In my years, I have seen many fail, and yet some succeed. Question, do you want your passion, time, and love to be the currency, i.e. the bet, in his/her game goals in life? Are you willing to risk your currency without some limits of security? If he can't set levels to achieve where he can create a secure landing and then gamble a little bit more up, then you've got no safety net as he or she takes those risks upward. With that in mind, I would be looking at the person's character. Can they compartmentalize? Are they realists? Or are they just go for it at all costs kind of people? It's hard to tell people what to do without living in their shoes, but those would be the questions and observations I would present to her. Gilbert, thank you for that. That is very wise.
Oh, wise counsel.
You're like a little Buddha.
Like a Yoda.
Yeah, you're like a little Yoda. Gilbert, seriously, keep them coming, sir.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for
Enjoy
listening.
your walks.
Yeah.
We're happy to be walking with you and the dog.
Yeah. Pet that German Shepherd for me.
That's right.
Pet that beautiful
beautiful
puppy.
Beautiful beast.
That beautiful, beautiful drug-sniffing dog. Ben, I got a hypothetical question for you.
Yes.
Now, granted, this might be pocket change to a baller like you, Ben.
Not quite.
So, if you were given $25,000 to stay in your home with no windows, not look, or go outside for 5 weeks, could you do it? 5 weeks, 25 grand. Do you think you could do it?
To stay in my house?
You can't look outside.
How can you not look outside?
Put yourself in a room with no windows.
For 5 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. I probably couldn't do it. I wouldn't even want to commit on the front end to that.
You say, hell no.
I'd just be like, I'm not doing that shit.
Take you away from the cool air and the
Yeah, dude. I mean, what's it worth?
$25K.
Yeah, I mean, are you going to come out the same guys you went in as? I mean, what is going to happen in there? I would need more details.
Those are the details.
You put another zero on it,
Right.
and I want the details.
Maybe 25 grand isn't the rub for you.
Not for me.
Let's say 250 grand.
I would highly consider it.
That's game changer.
I would highly consider
25 grand is, I can blow through that bad weekend in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, for 250, 5 weeks, I need to know the rules. I still might say no, but I need to know
the rules are, you're in a, let's say an apartment.
But can I use my phone?
Yeah, there's no rules
Email.
against that.
I can watch movies.
Yeah.
I can work out.
But you can't look out the window.
That's cool.
You're in no window.
I still do business and talk to people. Yeah, I'd probably do it for 250.
For 250.
For sure.
But not 25K.
25 wouldn't do it for me. Not enough money to take me off the field for a
Well,
week.
I mean, if you think about it,
A month.
even middle class could make 8 to 10 grand in a month. So could almost make that money.
Look, I'm not saying 25 G's is a small amount of money. For me, that's a lot of money. And yet, at the same time is everything, ultimately. So I will be hanging out for 5 weeks, getting my sweat on, getting my workout on. I'll just lock myself in the closet and make a couple $1,000,000 or something. No distractions, and I can just get after it.
Wake
I might
up.
pay somebody else to do that shit. Hey, can I pay you so I can just stay in my house for 5 weeks?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it either for 25K.
Yeah.
And maybe if you put 100,
100 plus, maybe. You know what I mean?
I'd consider it.
Yeah.
I'd have to ask my wife, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, she could go outside still.
So I have to talk about something, Ben. I feel like a neutered dog.
Oh,
It's a new year.
yes.
Same me.
Same you.
But just like last year, Thanksgiving, Christmas, my brother was in town from Australia. I kind of got off the workout routine. I also got bit by a dog. I couldn't
Holidays
really
are
use my
crazy.
hands, until it healed. So I kind of got off the routine of working out. I wanted to adopt 75 hard again.
Yeah.
My wife said that she was going to be on board, and I was like, thank God, because it's kind of a daunting of a task to knock out 2 workouts a day at 45 minutes a clip, one
Right.
outside, if I don't have my best friend doing it with me. Yesterday, I did a workout 45 minutes during the day inside, and then my wife and I went and worked out last night outside. We did a walk,
Nice.
45 minutes, I'm jogging a little bit, and then while we're out there, she was like, this is the beginning of 75 domestic. She goes, 75 domestic.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Domestic.
Meaning, you're going to work out 75 days in a row.
Right.
For the second workout, you're going to fold laundry and help around the house.
That's hilarious.
What? You work out once a day, you fold 1 load of laundry.
Dude, we're going to have to cut this segment out. I don't want to be giving the girls ideas out here, dude.
Well, my wife already gave it. She's coining it 75 domestic. I'm calling it 75 neutered.
I call it 75 laundry service.
I said, so I tried to mentally turn it around on her.
You know that there are services that'll fold your laundry.
We don't have a butler and a
Right.
maid that
Right.
comes every week.
Right.
We're on like an every week, every other week, maybe
Yeah.
sometimes every 3 weeks.
She wants help around the house, and she's frustrated that
At me.
you are taking time away from doing that which is important to her.
She's frustrated because she doesn't think I do enough
Right.
around the house.
And she's like, if you have time to go do a 45-minute workout twice a day, then you have time to fold this laundry.
Well, I
motherfucker.
tried to turn it around on her and tell her, well, you're not going to hit your goals.
The try and the fail.
And she said, 75 domestic. She was like, great. In that time, you can learn how to cook. I don't cook.
Yeah.
You're so good at it. It's a
Right.
passion of yours.
Yeah.
Why would I want to even try?
You create beautiful things with your hands.
That's right.
For people to put in their mouth.
That's right. And I love your hands and I love your mouth.
That's right.
Babe, this is a cop-out. 75 domestic is 75 bullshit.
Yeah.
Andy Frisella would never stand for it.
No, he
would throw up at the thought.
He would not stand for it. But I tell you what he would say. Hey, Aaron, if he'd do those things, would you do 75 hard with him? And she'd say yes.
Start folding.
Yeah.
Start scrubbing that toilet.
That's right. So Andy, one of the funniest things about Andy Frisella is I feel like I have to say his whole name because we're not like, I can't like call him like, yo, what up, Andy? You know,
we're not boys yet.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But one of his speeches that he's most famous for, or that kind of put him on the map, I don't know if it put him on the map. One of the things that he talked about early on, and he still talks about, is piss on the toilet seat. It drives him nuts. Picking up trash in the parking lot. He's all about doing all these little things as just part of your regimen. He's serious about this kind of shit.
He's like Howard Stern, like if you spray a chemical near his microphone.
Yeah, exactly.
He goes postal.
Does he?
Oh my God, dude. I'm breathing in this shit.
I think it's a tough thing. I mean, domestic is a difficult topic for a lot of people because there's so much work that has to be done around the house. And there's also so much work that has to be done outside the house.
Which I do a lot of
Which you
work.
do. And
I take out the trash.
Of course. There's men jobs and there's women jobs.
However it's divided up within that household. I mean, the man could cook and clean and the wife could take out the trash. My buddy down the street, Troy, who's a big fan of the ManFUzed podcast.
Shout out to Troy.
Troy is a hustler. He used to work for Ford.
Right.
He flips cars. He goes to auctions.
Right.
He's all into buying and selling cars. He's our official motorhead correspondent when it comes to vehicles.
Exactly.
And he will eventually bless the ManFUzed podcast with his presence. But Troy doesn't mow the grass. His wife does. And his wife is always out there trimming hedges and taking down trees. And where I'm like, Troy, why don't you get out there and do it? But Troy actually is very handy himself. That's their agreement. I don't know why she does and he doesn't, but she doesn't care. That's the agreement they have in that household, and that's what works for them.
A lot of people love doing yard work, you know? I mean, it is a very peaceful thing. I mean, it's nice once you get out there and you start doing stuff. Actually, when I leave here, I've got my chainsaw in the back of my truck. I'm going to cut down trees and cut up trees and load my truck up with wood. Actually, I got to go get my trailer. I'm going to load the trailer and the truck.
You need a hydraulic splitter.
I do need a hydraulic splitter.
You can get one for $1,000, so you have your own.
Probably a good idea. For now, I'll just split it with an axe.
Like Paul Bunyan.
Yeah, exactly.
Like an axeman. So it looks like I'm doing 75 domestic.
Looks like it. At the end of the day, anything that you can do, whether it's within the framework of a certain program or a modification of it, it's still about being healthy, you know?
I agree. This was the ManFUzed Podcast. Please share the show with your friends and family and hit us up to join the show at manfused.com or 770-744-5227 and check out our ManFUzed Gear.
Ciao for now.